Hi, it's Mr. Davis. All right, Honors Math, we are going to go through the solving equations pop quiz that I gave today. And now you got to remember, you do not need to get the answer perfectly correct in order to receive credit. Remember, I'm trying to push you. I want to give you something so hard it makes you want to quit so that you can practice working through hard problems without quitting. It's not enough to know the math. You got to be able to push through and use creative thinking to apply the math because real life math, real life stuff isn't straightforward and easy. It takes creativity and it takes perseverance. The word for that was grit. So we're going to show our grit and solve some crazy hard problems. It's absolutely ridiculously hard stuff because you can do it. Let's get started. So this problem says 16 plus 2 groups of 3x to the power of 2 plus 5 equals negative 4 plus the group 16x to the power of 2 minus 40 divided by 2. Whew, what a mouthful. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this problem into standard form. That 16 is in the wrong spot. It doesn't have any x values. So it needs to go, oops, I drew my arrow poorly. It needs to go at the very back, right back there behind the parentheses, but on the same side of the equal sign. So that's where I moved the 16, and everything else can come down. 2 groups of 3x to the power of 2 plus 5. And let's see, that 16 is positive, so plus 16 equals negative 4 plus 16x to the power of 2 minus 40 over 2. Now, I'm not going to touch the right side at this point. I'm only going to worry about the left. If you have a different problem-solving strategy, that's okay. This is how I like to do it to stop me from making mistakes. All right, now I've got things in the correct order. I'm going to distribute my times 2. 2 times 3x to the power of 2 is 6x to the power of 2. 2 times 5 is 10. My 16, my positive 16 is just going to come down, and I have equals negative 4 plus the group 16x to the power of 2 minus 40, all divided by 2. All right, well now I can combine like terms. Look at here. I got a positive 10 and a positive 16. I can combine those together. And when I do, I get positive 26. My 6x to the power of 2 will just come down, and that equals negative 4 plus 16x to the power of 2 minus 40 all over 2. My left side is done. Look how beautiful that looks compared to where it started. Fantastic. So let's start doing the same idea over here. Ooh, look, that negative 4, it's in the wrong spot. It doesn't have any x values in it, so it needs to be written at the very, very back of the problem. The negative 4 is going to get moved to the very back. So that negative 4 goes in the very back, and everything else can just come down. 16x to the power of 2 minus 40, all divided by 2. I'm going to go ahead and move that negative 4 so that it's a little bit closer. Let's move it so that it's closer, just to make my math problem a little prettier. And let's keep going, writing down my left side of the problem. 6x to the power of 2 plus 26 and equals. All right. I'm running out of space, so I'm going to scroll down, and let's keep going. Right here, I've just got division. I've got to divide by 2. 16x to the power of 2 divided by 2 is 8x to the power of 2. Negative 40 divided by 2 is negative 20. My negative 4 will just come on down, along with the equals 26 and the 6x to the power of 2. Well, right here, I can combine like terms. Negative 20 minus 4 is negative 24, and everything else will come on down exactly the way it is. 6x to the power of 2 plus 26 equals 8x to the power of 2 minus 24. Look at how much prettier this problem is. Take a look at both of these things at once. Look at where I started, and look at where I'm at now. How did I get there? One more time. I rewrote into standard form. Distribute, multiply, combine like terms. Rewrite into standard form. Distribute, divide, combine like terms. Very basic ideas applied one step at a time in order to get to a much prettier version of the problem. All right, let's zoom back in and let's keep going. I need to get all of my x values on the same side. I like to move things to the left. So I'm going to move that positive 8x to the power of 2 over to the left. What's the opposite of a positive 8x to the power of 2? Well, that would be a negative 8x to the power of 2. So I'll do negative 8x to the power of 2 on both sides. 6x to the power of 2 minus 8x to the power of 2 gives me negative 2x to the power of 2, and everything else comes on down. Plus 26 equals, that's gone, negative 24. Now I need to start removing things from my x. I've got x here with a power of 2, a times negative 2, and a plus 26. You remove the most simple things first. So what's more simple? Times negative 2, power of 2, or adding 26? Well, kids learn to add first, so let's get rid of that. The opposite of plus 26 is minus 26. Subtract 26 from both sides. That goes away. Negative 24 minus 26 is negative 50, and everything else comes down. Negative 2x to the power of 2 equals negative 50. Well, let's see, what's the opposite of times negative 2? That would be divide by negative 2. That goes away. And I get negative 50 divided by negative 2, which is a positive 25. You absolutely can write that plus sign if it helps you, but if you don't need it and you don't want it, you do not need to write it there. X to the power of 2 equals 25. Well, in order to remove a power, I need to do a root. In order to remove the second power, I'm going to use the second root. And let's see, that goes away, and I get x equals, let's see, the second root of 25 is going to be 5 and 5. So x equals 5. But because I had a second power that I got rid of, I know that I have a positive and a negative version of my answer. Because 5 times 5 equals 25, and negative 5 times negative 5 equals 25 also. So there's my answer. X equals plus or minus 25. Woo-wee, what a beautiful math problem. Look how long and gorgeous that was. And let's walk through the whole thing one more time. Rewrite to standard form, distribute, multiply, combine like terms. Rewrite to standard form, distribute, divide, combine like terms. Move the x value to the same side. Remove the simplest operation, which was addition. Remove the next simplest operation, which was a multiplication. Remove the power by using a root. Have two answers because of the even root. Sorry, the even power. Right there, that even power gave me two answers. Good job, guys. All right, one more. Ooh, man, these are long. These are beautiful, long math problems. Let's get going. If you want to pause and try to solve this problem on your own, that'd be a good use of your time. Remember, this problem right here, what you're looking at here, this is as challenging as you need to go in all of 8th grade. Here we are at the 4th week of school, handling a math problem harder or as hard as you need to go in all of 8th grade math. You guys are awesome. I'll do it one step at a time. First thing I'm going to do there is rewrite to standard form. That 20 needs to go to the very back. That's a positive 20. Remember, the sign is written in front of the number, not behind. So that's a positive 20, leaving a negative 2/3 times the group, negative 6 third roots of x, plus 15 equals negative 10 plus 5 halves times the group, 2 third roots of x minus 2. All right, well, I hate this. I hate fractions. So I'm going to reconceptualize that fraction. Instead of getting negative 2 over 3 like that, I'm going to scribble this out, and I'm going to get I wish I could just erase it, but it won't erase. Let's see, let's do it. Let's do it this way. I'm going to black it all out and write on top of it in white. How about that? We are going to get, we'll use blue, the -2 still, but we're going to move that 3 underneath. So I went from -2/3 to -2/3. This is absolutely valid. And the advantage of using this strategy is that it allows me to distribute the multiply and the divide separately. So I'm going to distribute through that multiply, and I get -2 times -6, which is +12 third roots of x, plus, let's see, -2 times +15 is -30, so -30. And that whole thing is going to be written over 3. I still got my +20 equals, and everything on the right side's the same. You see, I only work on one side at a time so that I don't have to stress about 2 things at once. I'm not very good at juggling. All right, guys, so you saw here that I used up my -2, but that divide by 3 is still there. So I changed -2/3 to times -2 divide by 3. I used up my times -2, so my divide by 3 is still there, and that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to go ahead and do 12 divided by 3 and get 4 third roots of x. And -30 divided by 3 is -10. And of course, everything else is the same. Let's leave all of that. This is a mess. Let's see. +20. Oops, let's write it in black. +20 equals -10 plus 5/2 times the group 2 third roots of x minus 2. All right, next thing I can do, combine like terms. -10 plus 20 is a +10. 4 third roots of x will come on down, along with the -10 plus 5/2 of 2 third roots of x minus 2. You notice sometimes my 2's look like a Z. Sorry, it's hard to write nicely on these iPads. Well, the good news here is my left side is done. Beautiful work. So if we want to go over the left side one more time, here I rewrote to standard form. I distributed the times -2. Then I distributed the divide by 3. Then I combined like terms. And so let's keep going here on the right side. I'm going to right away notice that I'm not in standard form. And so I'm going to rewrite that -10 to go in the very back. The negative sticks with the 10 because the negative is in front of the 10. So I got a -10 there. And of course, I've got 5/2 times the group 2 third roots of x minus 2. And everything on the left side of the problem is still the same. 4 third roots of x plus 10. All right, well, one more time, I can look at this and I can go, ooh, I hate fractions. So let's rethink of that 5/2, and let's rethink of it and make it a 5/2. I did that in the wrong color, forgive me. And we're going to go ahead and distribute that 5. 5 times 2 is 10, so 10 third roots of x. 5 times -2 is -10. It's still all over 2. And of course, there's my -10 here at the very end. That just comes down. In fact, everything comes down. So I'm just going to rewrite everything that was already written in that problem. My next step is going to be to divide by 2. Took this divide by 2, and now I'm doing it there. And let's see, that gives me 5 third roots of x minus 5. And everything else is the same. -10 equals everything else already written down in that problem. I'm not even worried about the left side because I still have to combine things here on the right side. -5 minus 10 is -15. So I've got 5 third roots of x minus 15 equals, and everything else there. Geez, what a beautiful math problem. I spent a long time making up this math problem for you guys so that it would turn out beautiful like this. And let's keep going. I am now ready to solve the equation. Everything I've done up to this point was to make it more simple. I know, 6.5 minutes of making it more simple. Let's review everything that we've done. First thing I did, rewrite to standard form. Distribute the times -2. Distribute the divide by 3, combine like terms. On the right side, I rewrote to standard form. Distribute the times 5. Distribute the divide by 2, combine like terms. So now I'm ready to finally solve this problem by moving all my x's to the same side. I like to move things to the left. So again, I've got a positive 5 third roots of x. I need to move it to the other side by doing the opposite. The opposite of positive 5 third roots of x is negative 5 third roots of x. I'm going to do negative 5 third roots of x on both sides. And that's 4 minus 5 is negative 1. So I get negative 1 third roots of x. And everything left over is just going to come on down. I'm now ready to solve, and I've got 3 operations connected to my x. I've got the third root times negative 1 and plus 10. Which of those is most simple? Definitely plus 10. The opposite of plus 10 is minus 10. Subtract 10 from both sides. That's gone. Negative 15 minus 10 is negative 25. All right, so I've got that negative 25 on the right, and everything else is going to come down. So negative 1 third roots of x equals negative 25. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So now I have to think, well, that's more simple. Timesing or taking a root. And definitely timesing. So let's get rid of that times by doing the opposite of times, which is divide. So I'll divide both sides by negative 1. Now that does not look like a negative 1. So divide both sides by negative 1. That goes away. Negative 25 divided by negative 1 is positive 25. And that's going to equal the third root of x. All right, my last step. We did it. How do I get rid of that third root? Well, the opposite of a root is a power. What power? The third power. So I'll take the third power of both sides. And that's going to go away. And I get x equals 25 to the power of 3. Now you guys can do 25 in the power of 3 in your fancy calculators. I've only got a simple calculator with me, so I need to break up that 25 to the power of 3 to be 25 times 25 times 25, because that's going to help me type it in my simple calculator. And let's see, 25 times 25 times 25 is amazingly huge. It is x equals, ready? 15,625. And that is my answer. So I don't usually box things, but I am since I'm going to do this zoom out thing. You, of course, don't have to box things. Oh my gosh, and that's all the math that we just did. This problem is huge, long, complicated, and something that I believe that you can do. Let's walk through it all again, okay? I rewrote to standard form. I distributed multiply. I distributed divide. I combined like terms, and my left side was simplified. On my right side, I rewrote to standard form. One more time, on my right side, I rewrote to standard form. I distributed multiply. I distributed divide. I combined like terms. And then my right side was simplified. Once they were both simplified, it was time to solve. I started by moving all of my x's to the same side. Once they were there, I removed the most simple operation, which was plus 10. I then removed the next most simple operation, which was the times negative 1. And then finally, I removed my root by doing a power. X equals 25 to the power of 3, which I calculated as 15,625. And that's the answer. I am really proud of you guys. That was a lot of work. This was crazy cool. Can we talk about grades for a second here? If you're still with me anyway. You can make mistakes all along this problem. You could distribute right here and get positive 30, like I almost did. Or you can divide right here and get positive 10 instead of negative 10. Right here, you could distribute and get a positive 10 instead of a negative 10. There's a lot of little mistakes that you can make. I understand. That's why I look for the ideas that you're using in your math. And if you make a little mistake, I won't punish you for it. Your grade is my opinion of how much you know. This test isn't going in your grade book. I choose your grade. But this test does give me a lot of information about where you're at and what I need to do to help you learn even more. I'm proud of you guys for your hard work, and we'll see you in class. Bye.